Hi everyone. So I am attempting to record this with my little guy with me, so bear with me here. Okay, so these questions will go over Haroon. This is the first story that we did in this second literature booklet. So just a reminder that this piece is nonfiction. It's based on a chapter taken from Bifocal, which ultimately dealt with 18 people being arrested. They were in high school, counts of terrorism. Those charges were later dropped. Again, if you want to look into that story more, there's a link for the book at the bottom of this. So number one, what are some reasons for and against telling? This is a personal response, but what it's referring to is the fact that Haroon knows that his friend Jay and his buddies have done this. So what are some reasons for Haroon telling and not telling? So when Haroon says no contest, what do you think? There are two interpretations of this. Number one, Haroon would rather tell on his friends than be haunted by his conscience. Number two, Haroon would not tell on his friends, but is able to determine if he could live with his conscience or not. So why does Haroon say this to Jay? Haroon basically doesn't see what would be accomplished by telling on those who vandalized his house. The crimes have already been committed. Haroon feels that Jay would only be ostracized by his teammate. I think Haroon also worries about further vandalism on his house or further conflict with this young group of boys. So because this book and this selection does deal with racism, Haroon obviously is of a different race. And Haroon is in the back of the police car because the police are wanting help from him to find out who trashed and vandalized his house and called in the bomb threat. And the cops feel like Haroon is unwilling to help them, when in reality, he is the victim here and has no idea what has happened or who did it. So why does Haroon feel so good about having stood up to the police? I guess it's indicated that Haroon has faced a lot of racism and mistreatment just merely based on his race and what he looks like. It's clear that Haroon has obviously never done something like this before. He's maybe stood up to quite a bit and just never stood up for himself. You know, has there been previous mistreatments? It's indicated that there is, but again, it's not told in this selection. For number three, you can refer to the number one during reading questions. So why did Jay not stop his friends from vandalizing Haroon's house? Was Jay worried about being teased by his teammates? We talked about the fact that, you know, he could possibly be ostracized. It's said that he is a really good player, so there could have been concerns with that. Jay obviously knew that the act was wrong, especially when he realized it was Haroon's house.